Now we're going to get ready for the next cycle, Sim Stage 2, Silver. So we reshuffle up our command cards, our deck, and from now on, this is where the walkthrough kind of ends in the book, and I'm going to carry on with the video. The next step would be to purge and restock the hack shack. Now you'll have noticed throughout this phase we didn't use the hack shack at all, but that's okay. We're going to learn all about that this time around. So all we do is we discard and we redraw. Okay. With that done, we move into the intel phase of cycle 2. Okay, Sim Stage 2. Remember, intel phase, we're going to follow this. We're going to follow the setup instructions and grab awareness of our goal. So our goal is to have one of every installation type on X servers, where X is the number of renegades, X is 1. We're playing just one renegade. So on one server, we need an installation of each type. And our setup instructions say, reset protocol. All avatars teleport to the respective access points and add a data port, that's the blue installation, the blue square, to each renegade's access point. So we're halfway there already, because we teleport. It says all avatars teleport to their respective access point. Tilda's is blue 6, that's Justice 6. Add a data port to our access point. That's the blue one. So we've already got a blue and a yellow. Just got to make sure they survive. Now we need a green and a red. And the good news is we've got lots of green contaminants and lots of red contaminants, and we know we need those to make installations. Green to make green, red to make red. Right, so somehow we're going to move over here, shift these around, and try and make these installations. Okay, let's see what we can do. Sequence of plays. We've done intel phase, command phase, start of turn step, nothing's happening. Restock the hack shack, nothing's happening. New spark step, right, okay. Now, look at the RS-20 simulator. It says on silver, it's got one dot in here. We have to lay down one more spark. And this is where we use these dice. These are called the spark dice. There's one called the server die and one called the partition die. What we're going to do is roll those together. Now this is where in the walkthrough we're kind of a little bit more open to chance now. Okay, so during Copper, the walkthrough helped us with the dice, it helped us with the card plays, told us what to do. Now we're a little bit more on our own. But where does our spark go? It goes on yellow server, virtue 6, partition 6, yellow 6. Okay, so we grab one of these and it goes here on yellow 6. Now we've got a data node here that's now unprotected, and then we know at the end of silver, at the end of this cycle, if it's still there with that spark, that's going to get deleted. But that's okay, that's, casualties of war. Alright. We should have drawn 5 more cards at the end of the last cycle, ready for the next turn. Right, that's new spark step. Okay, we've done that. Now it's the commands, and we can start using the commands in our hand. Now, the first thing you want to do is when you draw your hand is look at the hack shack, and that's something we've not done through Copper because we're going to be thinking about upgrading our cards. So let's do that final shop action. Purchase an advanced command card from the hack shack and add it to our hand. Now to do this, we need to pay a cost, and we need to discard a card, or throw away a card rather, and grab a card from the hack shack. So let's have a look. The first one here is Nye Down Ship. And when you're playing multiplayer, for the soloist, just upgrade like crazy. There's no reason not to. If you're playing cooperatively, there might be a card here that you could grab, but somebody else wants, so you might not, just for the sake of another player. But let's look at Nye Down Ship. We want this card. In the top right of the card, it's got something called a cost. Basics, they didn't have a cost. Right? This card has a cost, and it costs 1 information command. So we can play data steal for this 1 information to pay the cost. So let's do that. We'll pay this card and we'll grab this card. Now we have to throw 1 card away. Okay. The reason why is because our command deck is always 15 cards. So if we gain a card, we've got to throw a card away. The card we throw away has to come from the cards that we've used to pay the cost. All right. So data steal has been paid for that cost. We have to throw this card away. Right. Now what I like to do is just kind of place it down like that, and it reminds me that I've paid the cost. But you don't have to, just throw it away. Nidam's ship, now unlike other deck builders, this doesn't go to your discard pile, this goes straight to your hand. Right, this is really important. This command is now available to use. What we've effectively done is we've played a sequence of commands and generated a more complex command, Nidam's ship. This ship has this executability. Now we can play Nidam's ship. It's a lot like data steal. It generates one information command. That's all it does, right? But it also has this little bit of text at the bottom called all execute. So when we play this, we could either play it for its one information, or we can take its executability, which says instead move from an open partition to any other open partition as a move action. Open partitions and closed partitions is a little bit of jargon that we're going to need to learn. Unfortunately, it's there in the glossary. And a closed partition. Here's a closed partition right here on Freedom 4. Freedom 4 is closed because you notice these hex shapes. Every side, all 6 sides, are connected to another partition. It's completely closed in by other partitions. These other partitions, all the way around the edge, like Freedom 5 here, is what's called an open partition. It has one or more sides which are not adjacent to another partition. Right. Okay. Things like if you built your network and it had little gaps in it, like this, these would all still be open partitions, these, because they've got sides that are not connected to something else. All right. So open and closed partitions, it's simple really. Right? So with Nidam's ship, it says you can move from any open partition. We're standing on an open partition here on Justice 6, because it's got a side here which is open. We can move here to anywhere else with Nidam's ship. Pretty cool, huh? And I really want that one because I want to come over here and I want to start collecting these things together. So I'm happy with this. I've upgraded, taken Nidam's ship, and yeah, my deck looks suddenly a little bit better. But there's other cards here too, like Duality. Duality costs 1 deception, 1 yellow, see? I've got Interrupt, which gives me the 1. So this is going to be a bit of a no-brainer. This Interrupt gives me 1 deception, so does Duality, plus it's got an executability. So I'm going to play this with its cost. I'm going to discard this as the card to sacrifice and put this in my hand as well. So a couple of no-brainers there. You know, I've upgraded 2 cards 1 for 1. But then there's other things which look a little bit better, a little bit more tricky to decide. This one's called Exotic Software, and its cost is 1 destruction, 1 deception, 1 information, and 1 cognition, 1 of each type. So I'd have to play, oh my golly, I'd have to play 4 cards to generate the cost in order to buy Exotic Software. And from those, I'd have to discard 1, maybe this one, because it's, you know, it's the one that seems to generate the least amount of stuff. It generates 1 destruction. But you know, in other situations, I don't know. Let's say I'm on Project Consciousness, which costs 1 green. I might say, well, I'm going to pay the cost of focus, but I don't want to lose focus. I'll lose Renegade Apprentice instead. So I'll pay 2 green and a red, which covers the cost. I have to throw away 1 card from this that I've used as the card I'm going to lose, replace it with Project Consciousness, and then focus the extra cards, anything over and above the command. You know, I've paid them to pay the cost. They go to my discard pile. Right? So likewise with, let's say I want to buy Exotic Software, I'm going to use these 4 cards. Right, that gives me the 1 yellow, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 red that pays the cost. But I only have to get rid of 1 of these cards, so I'll throw away this one. This goes to my hand. Okay, so now I've got Focus and Exotic Software in my hand. The others go to my discard pile. Right, so I have to throw 1 card away. Everything else that I've used back in the discard pile. Okay, but I'm not sure I want to do that yet. It's one thing that bothers me. This is supposed to cost 3 cognition and it only costs 1. So errata, if you will. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to say it costs 3 because that's what I wanted. But I could play Exotic Software for 3 leadership, and that will cover the cost of Project Consciousness. I keep saying project, it's project consciousness, but during the playtesting, this is project consciousness, it's coming out as projection, but everyone kept calling it project consciousness. In fact, I want both of these. I want exotic and I want project. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave exotic here. Let's put these back in my hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use focus for 4 cognition. That will cover the cost of project consciousness, which is actually 3 cognition. I'll throw one of them away, discard the other, and put this in my hand. I do want exotic, but I might just keep that there for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Nidam ship for its executability. Move from an open partition to an open partition. So let's do that. Come over here. You know what, I didn't even need to do that because I'm standing on a port. The thing about ports is I'm standing on a port, so maybe I don't need to use Nidam ship. I'm standing on a port. For one move, the ability of a port is that I can ping anywhere on the network. So I could go over here, I could go over here, I could go anywhere. That's what ports do, they let you go anywhere. Because I can create an installation over here on Faith. This one says to teleport one installation to your partition. So I could create an installation over here, move back here, and then pull the installation back with me. Because remember, they all need to be on one server. Yeah, let's do this. Let's ping over here with Nidam ship. Let's use duality to flip one contaminant on my partition. I'll flip this blue one to a green one. I've got one destruction left, but I can only save one card. I'm going to save this. I'm going to throw this away. I'm going to throw it away. I'm going to draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We restock the hack shack. We fill in any gaps, so there's 4 more cards up here. Wow, we've got lots of deception. We've got a self-modifying inhibitor. We've got 2 of those, and we've got a Chino bracelet, which is really cool. This is a card from one of the expansion from the little boosters, the Christmas at the Hack Shack. Right, new sparks. We roll the dice, remember? 1 spark comes down. Okay, it's white 2. This is a special side. All the other sides of the server die are 1 for each colour, right? 5 different servers. Then this side, this is called the white side, and this white avatar just says, if you roll this, instead of being any one of the 5 servers, it's instead the server that your avatar is currently standing on, to whoever rolled the dice. So Tilda's standing on Faith, so this is Faith Partition 2. Right, commands now. It's got lots of movement, which I'm happy about. I did want to buy exotic software, so I was kind of looking for something like this. So I could play Sabotage and Data Scan with 2 leadership there, red, blue, green, yellow. With that, I'm paying the cost of exotic software. I'm going to throw away Sabotage, discard Data Scan, and put exotic software in my hand. Then I play Decrypt. I'm going to move twice. I'll take those 2 green. Actually, I'm going to move twice. I'm going to move over here and bring that one back with me. Okay, so 1, 2. I'm going to use Diversion for its 2 yellow to pay for the cost of self-modifying inhibitor, which costs 2 yellow. So I'll discard this, put this in my hand. Not discard, throw it away, delete it. Then I'm going to use the 1 leadership on here as cognition. Okay, so this 1 purple, I'm going to treat that as green. Let's take the install action, replace these 3 with this, Neural Hub. Now Neural Hubs are awesome because Neural Hub says, when your avatar is standing on Neural Hub, you can act as if your avatar were somewhere else on that server instead. Okay, nice and simple. So what I can do then is use Decrypt for 2 information to do 2 move. With my 2 move, I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring this virus with me. 1, and then 2 down to here. Okay, 2, Justice 4. Then I'm going to play exotic software to delete any 2 contaminants on your partition and then add 1 installation there. Any 1 installation. Okay, so it doesn't even have to be 2 viruses. You know, so I could have done this instead. could have done something like this. I could have just gone 1, 2, because Hetty's got this special ability that says she can bring an additional 1 contaminant or spark with her. So let's do that. And then I can upload with my exotic software any type of installation. So let's put propagator here. And we're almost there, because now I can use project consciousness to execute instead. Teleport one installation to your partition. I'll teleport that neural hub over here. And lo and behold, we've completed the silver countermeasure with, no less, 1 round left to go, 1 turn left to go. Alright, so let's start the next turn. We refill the Hack Shack. We roll for new sparks. Green 1, which is freedom 1, so the spark goes here. And then we can start playing cards. And at this point, what we're really trying to do is just set ourselves up a little bit for next time. Trying to upgrade our deck perhaps, so we could use bypass, grab digital tattoo. Let's do that. Load the cost, grab that. Read request intercept is good. Not so good on a 3rd cycle, so I might leave that one there. Chino bracelet is good. Self-modifying inhibitor is always good. So I might actually switch Trickery Master for this. I could even be, yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to pay, this one costs 2 yellow, 2 deception. So I'm going to pay Trickery Master and Leadership. So deception, treat this as deception. I'm going to toss in this this 1 information as well, data steal to overpay. This one will be thrown away. This one will be discarded. This goes to my hand. Do I want infiltrate? Yeah, I can swap infiltrate for the Chino bracelet. So we'll do that. That costs 2 red and gives me 2 yellow. So this is strange. This is one of the things that the boosters do. You won't see this in the base game when you're playing the walkthrough, but it swaps. You know, you use one type of cost, it gives you another one, which scares some players, but it's fine. You know, it's the balance of your deck. It depends what you throw away. One thing I could do is try and get rid of that spark. So roll that one over there. So what I could do, I've only got 1 leadership, so that's only 1 movement. There's a couple of ways I could get more. I could play Memory Steal and Digital Tattoo, and do a shop action and buy a read request intercept, which gives me blue. Or I could just use this as blue to move together with Chino bracelet. So I think I'll do that. I'll play Memory Steal, and it says play this card with another card to have this card produce the same commands as that other card. It's an interrupt effect because you could play it on somebody else's turn. If I'm going to interrupt this move, Memory Steal, this will also then, Chino bracelet will also give me cognition leadership. So I've got 2 cognition, 2 leadership. I'm going to use the 2 leadership as 2 move. Let's discard those. 2 move. I'm going to go 1 movement here. Well, I could just go pop here like this. Or if I wanted to get over there, I could go 1 and then use the port to go 2. But then I'm going to use self-modifying inhibitor. And this says to delete 1 spark on your partition, and you may then add a replicant there if you desire. So effectively I'm taking this away. Actually, just before I do, let's assume that when I moved I brought this node with me. Okay, so I'm going to use self-modifying inhibitor to delete this spark and replace it with a replicant. And then I've just got digital tattoo left, which doesn't do much on its own. I can use that green maybe to shift. I'll shift that over there. So now we've completed Sim Stage 2. The SMC's Revenge segment. So anywhere where there's any sparks and viruses. So just here there's one. So we're going to have to do a little roll off against these two. So it's a 4 versus a 1. We were successful, the spark is removed. If it had been the other way around, then it would have been the virus goes, and then this spark would have deleted this uplink. As it goes, we're good. Deleted the spark. Nothing else happens. So then we go to sim stage 2. Have we completed the goal? Have at least one of every installation type on one server. So there we go. We've got 4 installations on one server. So we flip over to the success, and it says all avatars teleport to the respective access points. So Tilda's popping right back here again. And then add 1 spark to any partition on each Renegade's home server. So 1 spark to any partition. So we can put it wherever we like. I'm just going to put it here where we're standing because Tilda can move with them. Alright, now we've got this little bit in the middle. Now you didn't see this during, incidentally I'm going to take the 25 victory points for silver, just because I can. During, if you look, this is the copper countermeasure. In this middle, just below, this is blank, but here there's a bunch of arrows. Right, now we've got to follow these arrows. What this means is sparks on the highest numbered partition on faith, move down 1 partition. Spark on the lowest numbered partition on freedom, green go up. Same on salvation, and then faith down again. Now as it goes, there aren't any sparks here because we've gotten rid of them. But if we hadn't, let's say there was a spark here, the highest numbered partition with a spark on it is partition number 2. If there was 2 sparks on here, so there's 1 on 4 and 1 on 2, then the highest numbered partition with sparks on it is number 4. That would move down. Okay, if it was just this one, then this one would move down. Alright. There's no sparks here. And it says green up, so spark on the lowest numbered partition has the lowest numbered partition has a spark, this one moves up. So if there were more than 1 partition with sparks on, it would just be the bottom one that moves up. This one doesn't move. Red up, none on salvation, and then faith down, there's none on faith. So the idea of these movement arrows really is that during the countermeasures phase, the SMC is trying to clump its sparks up. So, you can see is green up here would do this, or if there were 2 here, then it would do this. Okay, and what happens is there's 3 sparks ever on our partition at the same time and get replaced with the Guardian. So this is what it's trying to do. It's trying to clump its sparks up, just with a little bit of dynamic activity here. Sparks moving around. All right, we've completed silver. Let's clear out the hat shack. Draw up a hand of 5 new cards, and we move into gold. Remember, you've always got 15 cards, always got 15 cards. So every time we took a new one, we threw a card away, we deleted it from the game. Okay, and we're moving into gold, so we've got 1 dot here, so we're still doing 1 spark every time. But we start with the Intel phase, Sim Stage 3. And it says, goal. Have at least 1 Guardian or 3 sparks per Renegade on this card. Okay, so we've got to get sparks on this card. How do we do that? It says body count. When a countermeasure, so a spark or a Guardian, is deleted, place it on this card. Alright, so we're going to have to do lots of deletion here. So modifies and infects is what we're trying to do. Now we've got a spark, we put it here on Tilda's partition, so that was a good place to begin. But we got new spark step first anyway, so we're going to get a new spark. So we've got 2, we're going to get a 3rd one placed somewhere. It's Faith 1, Purple 1. It's quite a long way away, but the port can help us. Hang over here. So let's see, what can we do? Well, we've got self-modifying inhibitor, that's going to help straight away. Delete a spark on your partition and add a replicant, so we'll do that. That goes on this card because of body count. When a countermeasure is deleted, place it on this card. We've got to get 2 more on there. I do want more viruses. So I'm going to use decrypt and I'm going to move. So 2 movement, I'm at a port so I can ping over somewhere else. Let's go over here. I'll bring this replicant with me, why not? Actually, I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to move in here because of Tilda's ability. She can bring. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to go here. I'm going to move here. Tilda's ability, I can bring a spark with me. So I've got one movement left. So I'm going to move here, like so. I'm going to use Project Consciousness to bring that replicator up here. Teleport an installation. And then I'm going to use Data Scan. It's got one blue, one leadership, one information, one leadership. I'm actually going to buy a Dancing Pig, which costs one deception. I'm going to use a leadership as deception, discard Data Scan, buy Dancing Pig. And then I'm going to use the two deception, the two yellow here. And the good thing about a replicator is, remember to upload, if I wanted to upload a replicant, these yellow ones, I'd need 3 yellow commands, 3 deception. With this installation, for every deception I generate, I can upload 1 replicant. So for 2 deception here, I can actually spawn and upload 2 more replicants. 2 deception, 2 replicants, because I've got a replicator here. The other thing is, remember uploads, sparks stop you uploading. I couldn't upload here, but with the installation you can. So replicators, and you can do the same with propagators, the red ones. Replicators and propagators let you create more contaminants without sparks stopping you at a cheaper cost of just 1 command, not 3. Now next time I'm hoping, and I could take the infect action and try and defeat this thing, delete it using infect, but I'm hoping I'm going to pull some yellow next time, some deception, and actually modify this thing. So let's end my turn here. We'll keep Renegade Apprentice, and we'll replenish our hand. We'll draw 5 more cards. We'll restock the Hack Shack, fill in the gap, Pied Piper. Teleport 1 contaminant from any partition to your partition. I like that because I could potentially get another virus in here. Let's roll for sparks. New spark step. That's actually worked out well. It's the whites again. My pot server 2. So it's going in here. And then commands. See, I'm going to modify. I want some yellow. Here we go. Easily done. Trickery Master. I got 1 yellow, 1 deception, so I could turn that into anything I wanted. With the leadership, so I'm going to turn this into a virus. Yep. Because I deleted the spark that goes on this card. So we'll get rid of 1 more. I'm going to use exotic software to delete any 2 contaminants on my partition and put an installation there. I'll get rid of these 2, put a neural hub down. I'm going to use self-modifying inhibitor. So now with the neural hub I can act as if my avatar was somewhere else. So I can ghost my action effectively over here, pretend I'm standing here. And then take this action, execute, delete 1 spark on your partition and then add a replicate there instead. So I'll delete this one, add a replicate. My avatar, I end my action, it pings back to where it was. Remember, I wasn't really here, it's just the ghost of me. And then I deleted this spark, that goes on the card. So I've finished Sim Stage 3, I've completed the goal. So now it's all about maximising scores again. But I don't have to, I'll just toss my cards, roll for sparks, draw back up, sorry. Roll for sparks, this goes on yellow 5, this one. I could do loads more stuff, I could start building installations, I could move around, try and get rid of some of these sparks and so on. I'm just going to pass, end my turn, go to the end of Sim Stage 3, which says have at least 1 guardian or 3 sparks on this card, which I do. So we go to the success. I'm going to take the 25 feet piece for succeeding at gold, and it says congratulations prospect, you've beaten the simulation. Be sure to check your score and now graduate as a renegade. You're ready to face the SMC Alpha Moby. Nice game, Renegade, but don't get cocky. These SMCs are going to suddenly start getting tricky. And if you do want to score your game, you're going to get these ones. These are worth 25 points each. That's 75. You get 5 points for every Guardian left in the stock. Now, we didn't get any Guardians out, so that's that's another 25 points. You also get 5 points for every spark left in the 1 point for every 5 sparks left in the supply. That includes these 3 that were on this card. Not that it makes a difference. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 points plus a point for every installation on the network. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 4. That's plus 3. That's 8. So 108 points. And if you win with 100 plus victory points, then your victory over the SMC has brought you notable acclaim amongst your comrades. We have passed the simulation with flying colours. This walkthrough's helped you. There's a lot going on, lots of actions to learn, but we've covered everything. This should allow you now to step up. You've graduated from being a prospect to being a real renegade. You can now go and take on Alpha Moby, Spider, Viking, Logi and Mother. Thanks for watching. See you next time.